everybody? Welcome to the second race of the season here in the Snickers Cup Series here at Twinex International Raceway. We're getting ready for the running of the Subway Fresh Fit 500 presented by Boston Strong, as obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those involved in the Boston Marathon bombings. So this race is dedicated to those that were involved and the families and friends of those involved as well. We are getting ready for a 40-lap event here at Phoniex International Raceway, and it, yes, is still very, very hot. This track, I mean, it really is an entity unto itself. I don't think I've ever seen a track where drivers have such a struggle trying to gain grip in those tires in order to make moves. And today's going to be exactly the same deal for a lot of these drivers to have to try to contend with. A lot of these drivers have had some experience in the Truck Series and Mobile and Cup Series races to be able to figure out exactly what they might be able to do. But then again, they haven't raced here today at this very moment, so they don't know what this track has in store for them. We'll see who's going to be the one to, quotes, conquer Twinex racing today and the heat that it has brought. On the pole for this race is Anthony McCrory. He is a former winner at this track, but not in the Snickers Cup Series. He won a truck race here last season, but he is coming in with quite a purpose, and that is to get himself back up inside the top 20 in points. McCrory did not have a good run last week at Daytona. He comes in 40th in the point standings, so he needs a good run here today. He'll start off alongside of Dylan Young, who actually did have a very good run last week at Daytona. He comes in 6th in the points. Then you got Trent Dunham lined up there in the 3rd position. Dunham, he didn't exactly have the best of runs last week either. Well, wait a minute. Yes, he did. Yes, he finished 8th. What am I thinking? Trent Dunham did. He actually finished 8th place at Daytona. He comes in 8th in the standings. And then Danny Wells, he's going to line up alongside of him in the 4th spot. Danny Wells is the driver who comes in midway in the points. He is 23rd in the current point standings. And then Dylan Poteet's going to round out our top 5 for today's starting lineup. Poteet comes in 7th in the points. So you've got Poteet, Dunham, and Dylan Young, who are all going to try and continue on the success they've had early on this season. You got Danny Wells, who would love to get inside the top 10 in points with a win today, and Anthony McCrory, who would love to get himself back at least inside the top 20 in points with a victory today at Phoniex International Raceway. All right, so let's get these cars rolling off. The command to fire the engines has been given. Danica Shirley, in only her second NNSCRA start, and Sean Williams, in only his second NNSCRA start, have a Truck and Mobile Cup Series win here at this track. What will we see in store today for possibly some of these rookies coming in making their second start in the Snickers Cup Series? We're going to have to find all that out, but for now, here is your starting grid for today's race at Twinex. Last season, when we had the 3 divisions, there were 3 winners at Phoniex International Raceway. 2 of them, though, are not in this field. The only one that is a former winner here from last season, is running right there in the Pepsi Max Chevrolet. That is Aaron Williams Jr. He's looking for his first win of the season. Could it happen here again for the second straight year at Phoniex International Raceway? James McCloud comes in as the current points leader. There he is behind Aaron Williams Jr., running close to the back of the pack. We'll have to see if he can work his way up through the field to the front. Green flag comes out here. Anthony McCrory going to lead them down into turn number 1. This track, known as Phoniex International Raceway, but in the NR 2003 community is known as Twinex. You gotta wonder if the Twinex drivers are going to consider this a track that they really want to win at. So we'll be keeping our eyes on Dylan Poteet, James McCloud, Sean Henley, and Mary Cole. See if they'll try and work their way up here through the field to be able to do something here, as Anthony McCurry has got a pretty nice lead right now. One thing I have noticed is that those drivers got off turn 4 pretty doggone well. They didn't really hit the wall, as we saw quite a bit happen in the Mobile Cup Series event here. Trent Dunham, he's into second now. Danny Wells moves to third, as he's going to bypass Dylan Young, and then it's a battle side-by-side between the Dylans. Dylan Poteet and Dylan Young battling there for position number 5. There's Austin Ogo. Nice run right there for the 83. He got himself a nice qualifying spot. He crossed the line that time in the 6th position. As of right now, I believe he is currently the highest running rookie on the racetrack in that 6th spot. And Dunham is starting to close in on Anthony McCurry here for the top spot. Trent Dunham comes into this race 8th in points. He'd love to leave Phoenix as the points leader. Oh, caution's out for the first time today. For the first time, the caution flag will fly here at Phoenix. And oh, it's a big pileup, and the points leader was in it. The points leader got involved. Adam Chambers was involved as well. So was Tripe and Reed, Ralph Mason. I saw some other cars that were slowed. Oh, man, there's the 27 of Rohit Vedarvu. He's in it. Waidos Votas is involved. Oh, Callum Wales has got damage. 2nd in points. Possible damage. Yeah, damage to Jake Cole's machine. Oh, Charles Jackson's day is done. His car completely crunched up. Everybody else here looks okay. Oh, nope. There is some damage to the Hayden Klein machine. That FedEx Toyota, he is in it. Rear end damage to George Roque. How about 3rd in points? Chris Dollerton. Looks like he's fairly clean. There may be some rear end damage to Trent Whitney. Maybe some damage as well to Sean Henley, Jordan Davis. Oh, Zach Campbell. His day is done in that McDonald's Dodge. Wow, this was a big wreck. Caution for the first time today, and I saw the top 2 in points involved in it. James McCloud and Callum Wales both sustaining damage from that. We saw Jake Cole, 5th in points. He got a piece of it as well. And Charles Jackson, who came in 9th in the standings, involved. Zach Campbell, Hayden Klein, they were 11th and 12th in points. So a lot of drivers who were running up at the front of the point standings involved here in the first caution of the day, as Anthony McCurry paces us under the caution flag. Let's try and see if we can find out how this got started. It was just inside the top 20 when this occurred. Sean Galligan going to make some contact there with rookie Alex DeMarco. And then DeMarco comes down, and he just kind of keeps running into Waidos Avotas. Avotas not getting off the Best Buy Dodge, and the two of them going to go down. They are going to get that inside retaining wall. And then, watch the 19. I think he's going to be the one that shoots back up the racetrack. I may be wrong. Oh, yeah, he is. Oh, right up into his teammate, Adam Chambers. Oh, and then Avotas comes up into his teammate, Charles Jackson. Cole Daly gets clipped there. Wow. Who would have thought that had happened? Ralph Mason there, Trife and Reed, Emilio Navarrete, they're all going to get pieces of that. Everybody trying to scatter down to the inside line. There is where James McCloud and Jake Cole got involved. And then something up here happens. Oh, Callum Wales, he was trying to get through there. Oh, no, I guess they kept it clear for that point, but something happens further up here. I'm just not exactly sure where. Oh, maybe nothing does happen. Oh, there it is. Yup. Emilio Navarrete runs into the back of Callum Wales' machine. Man, Navarrete's day is done. He took a hard hit there. But there must have been something else that happened. I mean, there were a few more damaged race cars there than we're seeing at this point. And the question is, where is it? Okay, look right here. Watch the 2087-43. Chambers, Mason, Jackson. Oh, right there. The 9 of Zach Campbell made contact with Jake Cole, who goes into the back of Vedarvu. And then Jake Cole gets jacked up by Ralph Mason. And Charles Jackson ran into the spinning Zach Campbell machine. So that's how that other incident took place there. Because I knew that we had race cars that were more damaged than what I was originally seeing there. Oh, and then, whoa. Zach Campbell goes flipping. Who nailed him? Was it Tryphon Reed? Yes, it was. First he gets that hit from Charles Jackson, then watch the 13 come in and nails him. Oh, man, that was the driver's side door. And Campbell goes for a barrel roll. Man, what a shame for Zach Campbell. That rookie was doing so well in points. He was second in rookie points. He was 11th in overall points, and a tough break for him. All three of the Ray Everham Dodges were involved in this. And there's Waitos Abotas. I was looking at some of these drivers. We were talking about James McCloud and company, how they were doing so well in points, and this is really going to hurt their chances of remaining inside the top 10 in points. But how about some of these drivers like Tryphon Reed there in the 13? He comes into this race 37th in points. You got Waitos Abotas involved in the 18. He's 41st in points. So a lot of drivers. This is really going to hurt them in the standings even more after a dismal run last week at Daytona. And there is the guy who came in as the points leader, our Daytona 500 winner, James McCloud. His day is done early here at Phoenix International Raceway. Lights are out atop the Dodge Charger pace car. We will go back to green flag racing here on lap 8 of 40. Anthony McCurry is out in front. Trent Dunham runs second. Danny Wells third. Fourth, Dylan Poteet, and Austin Ogo is in fifth. Dylan Young sixth. Eric Burton runs in seventh. Richard Johnson 8th, 9th Matthew Rodriguez, and Michael Norman completes top 10. Not at all surprised to see these two running up here at the front, Eric Burton and Richard Johnson. We know how both of them had great runs and great performances yesterday in the Mobile One Cup Series event, so not at all surprised to see them running up inside the top 10 right now. Anthony McCurry out in front here, trying to win it here for that single car race team, the number 61. If you can win today, it'd be the first time ever that the 61 has gone to victory lane here in a Snickers Cup Series event, as he went winless last season. Here we go, though. Drivers out after that latest incident are Emilio Navarrete, Waitos Abotas, James McCloud, Adam Chambers, Tryphon Reed, Ralph Mason, Rohy Vidarbo, and Zach Campbell as the green flag comes back out here on lap 8 of 40. We are now 1/5 of the way through this race as Trent Dunham got a nice run there. Will he get to the inside of McCurry? Meanwhile, he's got Danny Wells all over the back bumper of him there. Oh my goodness, awfully close right there between Trent Dunham and Danny Wells, but Danny Wells giving a little bit of room there to Dunham, making sure he doesn't turn him. Let's watch him off turn 4 here. Yeah, they're doing a great job on exit off of 4 here. They've learned a lot from the World One Cup Series race, no doubt about that. Anthony McCurry, he did not take part, though, in the trucks or the Mobile One Cup Series events. Or no, he did take part in the truck series, but not in the Mobile One Cup Series. Haruhi Tashimi runs in the Mobile One Cup Series for his team. Trent Dunham, though, he is there. Great run for him right now in that second position. Danny Wells there in third. Poteet fourth, and very impressed right now with Austin Ogo. We didn't really talk much about him in the Mobile One Cup Series event, but nice run for him. And how about Dylan Young? Let's keep in mind, Dylan Young ended up finishing second in the Mobile One Cup Series event here yesterday. He kind of was laying in the weeds, if you will. We never really even talked about him until the closing stages of the race. Today, he's using a little bit different strategy. Qualified himself on the outside of the front row. Still remains inside the top 10 right now. Currently in the 6th position. There is Eric Burton. There's Richard Johnson. There's two-time NNSCRA champion Matthew Rodriguez, who actually was running very well at Daytona last week until he got involved in that incident under the caution flag. Matthew Rodriguez comes into this race 35th in the points, but running very well in 9th place. Right behind him, Michael Norman, who ended up having a dismal Daytona race. He ended up being one of, I think he was actually the only caution of the day when he got turned around on the back straightaway and slid into turn number 3. Nice recovery race right now for him in that Amp Energy Chevrolet, currently in the 10th position. Norman comes into this race 27th in points. Right behind him, Jacob Lawler, trying to continue on some consistency here. He is currently in the 10th position in points, and he is 11th on the racetrack. Jacob Lawler in that number 15, his first season with Michael Waltrip Racing, running very well, and they're racing really hard up here. Richard Johnson has now gotten to the inside of Eric Burton. This is for the 8th position. These two kind of rekindling their racing against each other from the Mobile One Cup Series. We saw them several times during the Mobile One Cup Series events side by side when Richard Johnson was in the 38 and Eric Burton was in the 29. Burton now getting freight train now on that high side. There's Sean Galligan currently in the 12th position. Galligan comes in 22nd in points, but he came away with a nice top 10 finish in the Mobile One Cup Series event here yesterday, so he's trying to continue to show what he learned there in that race and trying to apply it here. And there is Aaron Williams Jr. trying to pass Tim Walsh right now. Whoa, 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 whoa! What in the world? Ron Fajardo Jr. just flat out wrecked Aaron Williams Jr. up into his own teammate, Kyle Sosnowski. Oh, come on. Sosnowski is smoking. His day is done. What was Ron Fajardo Jr. thinking? Totally uncalled for, in my opinion, right there. It's not as if Aaron Williams Jr. didn't give him enough room. Caution for the second time today. There is Aaron Williams Jr. 25th in points. He was running up inside the 12th position right there. I don't know what Ron Fajardo Jr. was thinking, but that was totally uncalled for on the part of the 22. Anthony McCurry is still the leader over Trent Dunham, Danny Wells, Dylan Poteet, and now Dylan Young is the top 5. So he got by Austin Ogo for the 5th position. Looks like no pit stops are going to be made. We're going to look back at a replay of that, but boy, Aaron Williams Jr., what a tough break for him. He was running so well there inside the top 15. He just gets taken out like that. Let's take a look back at a replay. Well, we're going to take a look at this, and we have actually been told that a 25-point dock will be happening for rookie Ron Fajardo Jr. due to aggressive driving here and unnecessary roughness. Watch right here. I mean, it would have made sense for it being a racing incident if Aaron Williams Jr. maybe gotten loose, gone up into Tim Walsh, or Tim Walsh has hit the wall and come down to Aaron Williams, and then he'd gone off the nose of the 22. But watch coming off this corner. There's no indication whatsoever of Aaron Williams Jr. going down into Ron Fajardo Jr. He does have a little wiggle there. I'll give him that. But Ron Fajardo Jr., right there, he could have easily gotten off the throttle and let Aaron Williams Jr. go. No, he remained in the left rear quarter panel, turned him down into the wall, and that is just completely uncalled for. If Ron Fajardo Jr. was not trying to turn Aaron Williams Jr. there, he wouldn't have gone down that far towards the inside retaining wall. And then watch this. I don't know what it is, but it seems like whenever a car spins out, he spins right up into a teammate, and Kyle Sosnowski just nowhere to go. That was right up in front of Mary Cole there, who comes in the rookie points leader in 4th in standings. And then look at Callum Wales. Just barely get through that. Cole Daly as well, but what a tough break, but it's uncanny. I don't know what it is, but we ended up having Wido Savota spin up into his teammate Charles Jackson. We had Zach Campbell actually it was Alex DeMarco, spin up right in front of his teammate Adam Chambers, and now Aaron Williams Jr. spins up right in front of his teammate Kyle Sosnowski. But the official word is that Ron Fajardo Jr. has been docked 25 points for aggressive driving as he takes out 2 Hendrick teammates, Aaron Williams Jr. and Kyle Sosnowski, here at Phoenix International Raceway. Going to go back under the green flag at the halfway point. Lap 20 of 40 is when the green flag will fly once more. 2 drivers have gone back behind the wall due to this, and that was, of course, Kyle Sosnowski and Aaron Williams Jr. So the lone man left to try... Oh, wait, no, Kyle Sosnowski's returned to the track. I'm not exactly sure how. His car was smoking. Usually that's an indication they can't come back onto the racetrack because something is terribly wrong underneath, but I don't know. They were able to fix it, apparently. Sosnowski is actually 1 lap down to the leaders, but he's been able to continue on. Anthony McCurry, who's dominated this race, at least for the first half, he is the leader. Trent Dunham is going to be 2nd, Danny Wells 3rd, then it's the Dillons, Poteet, and Young in 4th and 5th. Austin Ogo, still the highest running rookie, in 6th. Richard Johnson 7th, Matthew Rodriguez 8th. 9th place is Eric Burton, and Sean Galligan now completes top 10. Jacob Lawler 11th, Michael Norman 12th, Tim Walsh is 13th, 14th is Ron Fajardo Jr., even though he will be docked 25 points, and Barney Ward is going to complete the top 15. Green flag comes back out. We'll see if they're going to have any trouble getting around the slower lap car of Kyle Sosnowski. Doesn't look like it right now as Anthony McCurry takes the lead. Let's jump back to the 48. Sosnowski actually looks like he's up to speed with these guys. Well, maybe not. He is almost, yeah, he's holding up Dylan Young here. Dylan Young's got to get to the inside now. Here he comes, along with Austin Ogo and Matthew Rodriguez. They're going to start to go to work on the Cobalt Tools Chevrolet, who is off the lead lap, but that has opened quite a gap there for the front four. McCrory, Dunham, Danny Wells, and Dylan Poteet now have been able to kind of get away from the rest of the field thanks to the lap car of Kyle Sosnowski. And so these four can kind of concentrate on either trying to open up their gap between themselves and fifth place Dylan Young, or concentrate on battling each other for positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, basically, I guess you can't battle for fourth place, because who would want to battle for fourth place? They'd go back one spot. But anyway, you know what I mean. Right now, it's 1 Toyota, 3 Chevys. That is the top four. All three of those Chevys representing different teams, though. The 1 out of Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, the 3 out of 31 out of RCR, rather, and the 78 out of Twinex. But right now, they are trying to run down the Toyota Camry of Anthony McCrory. Let's jump back here, see if anybody's been able to make up ground. Oh, caution's out again. Second time today, the caution flag will come out. Or third time today, rather. And this time it's going to be for, I think it might have been for Kyle Sosnowski. I think he may have unceremoniously been moved out of the way by an unappreciative lead lap car, as he has more damage on that Cobalt Tools Chevrolet. We'll look back at a replay of our third caution of the day, it coming out for the Lowe's Impala of Kyle Sosnowski. Yeah, everybody was trying to get by that lap car of Sosnowski, and they're going to go almost 4 wide off this corner. They were 4 wide with George Roque, Tim Walsh, Richard Johnson, and Sosnowski. And I think Roque makes contact with his own teammate, Tim Walsh, sends him up into Richard Johnson, and then it's going to spin the 48 car right around in front of everybody. Everybody going to try and miss him. Johnson to Dina. Oh, Pichu London. Can he slow down in time? Yes, he can. He was able to avoid it. Just about everybody got by the 48. Nice job by all those drivers being able to get past the spinning Kyle Sosnowski machine, but it wasn't even that they were really trying to turn Kyle Sosnowski out of the way. It's just they went 4 wide trying to pass him. There's really not that much room for 4 wide off of turn number 4, but Kyle Sosnowski spins around here, brings us under the caution again. Let's go back to green flag racing. I'll tell you somebody who's kind of liking these back-to-back cautions that are coming out, and that is the current leader, Anthony McCrory. Every caution that comes out is about 4 or 5 laps that he's got Trent Dunham off his back, and Dunham is forced to ride behind him at a measly 50 miles per hour under the caution flag. Sosnowski still remains on the racetrack. He is still a lap down, however, but Anthony McCrory is the leader. Second place is Dunham. Then it's Danny Wells, Dylan Poteet, and Dylan Young. That is still the top 5. Top 10 hasn't changed much either. Austin Ogo, Matthew Rodriguez, Sean Galligan, Jacob Lawler, and Michael Norman. 11th place now is Ron Fajardo Jr. with Barney Ward 12th. Eric Burton, he has now slipped outside the top 10. He's now 13th. 14th is Sean Henley. Richard Johnson also has fallen outside the top 10 and 15th. And then the rest of the top 20 are Tim Walsh, George Roque, Trent Whitney, Chris Dollerton, and John Cittadino. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. I don't think anybody went back behind the wall after that incident there. Nope. Spinning Kyle Sosnowski machine, still running on the racetrack, still a lap down, and currently in the 33rd position. Here we go. Green flag comes back out. We're going to follow this battle for the lead right now, but if need be, we're going to jump back again to Kyle Sosnowski, see if any driver's going to have any problems getting around him. McCrory very strong off of turn number 2. Dunham not going to be able to make a move right now. Danny Wells lost some ground there, and now they're going to get held up. Oh, it's Dylan Poteet getting held up behind Kyle Sosnowski. Really getting held up. He's got to get down to that middle groove there. He has lost about 4 or 5 positions right there, right down the back straightaway after not being able to get by the Lowe's Impala. Oh, man, they're close off this corner. Michael Norman, Jacob Lawler making contact, but they still keep it together. Man, Sosnowski playing havoc with all these lead lap cars that are running inside or just outside of the top 10. Now Eric Burton's going to be the car getting held up. He's got to get down to the inside of Sosnowski. There he goes, moving down low. Can he get to the inside? Yes, he can. They're going to go 3 wide again. They're going to almost go 4 wide there. Trent Whitney trying to go 4 wide underneath George Roque, but they will not go 4 wide. They'll remain 3 wide, and we're still green flag racing. Oh, wait a minute, contact back there. Jordan Davis, Johnson, and Mary Cole, they're rubbing doors, rubbing fenders, and they still keep it together. 3 rookies, side by side, 3 wide, just behind Kyle Sosnowski. Still some more contact there between Davis and Cittadino. Good, hard racing here at Phoenix, but still they're keeping it clean, and Mary Cole's now gotten held up behind Kyle Sosnowski. She lost a few positions to Pichu London and Callum Wales. Wow, we got some good racing going on here, but they're kind of formed themselves in single file now for about the top 15, maybe even the top 20. Trent Dunham, though, not letting Anthony McCurry out of his sight. Let's try and find a good battle on the racetrack here for position. Got to go all the way back here as Trent Whitney has now taken away 16th place from Eric Burton. Now trying to run down George Roque for a spot inside the top 15. Pretty nice run right now for Chris Dollerton, currently in the 19th position. See if he crosses the line anything better. Nope, still 19th. Dollerton comes into this race running third in the point standings, and we know that James McCloud and Callum Wales, who came in 1 and 2 in the points, have had their fair share of troubles today. Dollerton, if he could pick up a few more spots, he could be the points leader heading into next week's race, but tell you who really lost out in a ton of spots. He was running 5th for most of this race, and now he is way back, currently now in the 8th position. That is Dylan Poteet. He did actually a pretty good job of recovering. He only lost about 3 positions. I think he lost to Dylan Young, Austin Ogo, Matthew Rodriguez, and Sean Galligan. But still running very well inside the top 10. That is Dylan Poteet. Meanwhile, good battle on here. That is for 3rd place. Danny Wells has it. Dylan Young wants it. Starting to close in there. Remember, Dylan Young came from out of nowhere at the close of the Moblin Cup Series race. Does he have something in store here for the leaders in the closing stages of this event? Meanwhile, up front, still the 2 cars that have been out in front all day long. Anthony McCurry in the lead, Trent Dunham in 2nd. Dunham has yet to make any move on Anthony McCurry. Is he just biding his time, or is Anthony McCurry too strong for Dunham to be able to make any kind of move on him? Anthony McCurry continuing to lead. When they come around next time by, it'll be 6 laps to go. Danny Wells right there in the 3rd position. He's had a great run today there for RCR. His teammate Barney Ward's been working his way up as well. And how about this guy? Austin Ogo. Still the highest running rookie there. He's been inside the top 10 all day long there. Nice representation there for Burger King Racing as he is in the 5th position trying to leave with a top 5. Austin Ogo finished 29th in his Snickers Cup Series debut last week at Daytona. Certainly a lot better this week for him. Matthew Rodriguez, still, we've mentioned him. He is in 6th. Sean Galligan had a great run the Moblin Cup Series event, where I believe he finished, might have been 5th place. He's in 7th place right now. And how about Michael Norman? A very nice run for him. You know, I'll tell you what, Michael Norman and all his drivers have done well here at Phoenix International Raceway. Danica Shirley took the win in the Truck Series race. James King came away with a top 10 finish in the Moblin Cup Series event. Now Michael Norman trying to follow it up with a top 10 finish of his own here today in the Snickers Cup Series event. And then, of course, a lot of talk about this driver who's looking to leave with a top 10 finish. That is Ron Fajardo Jr., but we do know that despite a good finish, if he does get it, he will be docked 25 points for aggressive driving. If he just joined us, he seemed to purposely turn Aaron Williams Jr. into the inside retaining wall for our second caution of the day. And Ron Fajardo Jr., that move was deemed by NNSCRA as an aggressive move, an unnecessary move, and so he will be penalized. And that penalty will take place here in the final points at the end of this video. Speaking of final, though, we're drawing close to the final lap. We got 3 laps to go now, 2.5. Anthony McCurry continuing to lead. Right now, we got 2 Toyotas, 2 Chevrolets, and 1 Ford inside the top 5 right now. The Dodge representation for the Ray Everham cars not really up here because of Adam Chambers and Zach Campbell out of this race. Alex DeMarco badly damaged at the rear of the field. Anthony McCurry, though, he's got 1.5 more times. Can he hold off Trent Dunham? Has Dunham just been lying in wait, or can Dunham truly not make any move on Anthony McCurry? If McCurry can do this, he'll have dominated the entire Snickers Cup Series event, leading all 40 laps. Here we go, just one more time, Anthony. White flag in the air for the Vocaloid Aflac Toyota Camry. That single-car race team does get some help out of Joe Gibbs Racing, but is a single-car team nonetheless. Dunham still remains about a half car length behind, but the gap does not seem to be closing. I think Anthony McCurry came with a perfect setup today. It put him on the pole. It's helped him dominate every lap today. And he will out of turn 4 come. And Anthony McCurry is going to come down. He will win the Subway Fresh Fit 500 presented by Boston Strong here at Phoenix International Raceway. Man, that is a tough name to say. The Subway Fresh Fit 500. What a win for Anthony McCurry. His first win in that number 61 team. And for the first time in NNSCRA history, the number 61 goes to victory lane in a Snickers Cup Series event. Very impressive outing, though, for Trent Dunham. Great follow-up to his 8th place finish last week at Daytona. He'll get 2nd. Danny Wells 3rd. Dylan Young, a nice run for him in 4th. And Austin Ogo is the rookie of the race as he will finish in the top 5. No idea of who the points leader will probably be heading into next week. I'm almost wondering if it could be Trent Dunham, but I don't know for certain. We'll find all that out when we see the official pincher results. But Anthony McCurry going to go to victory lane here for the first time in the Snickers Cup Series event in Season 5 as he takes the checkered flag here today. Well, this has been a great weekend here at Phoenix International Raceway. Next week we head to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Hope you'll tune in for that. Going to be some great racing there. I'm not sure if it's going to be night racing or not. We'll find that out when we get there. But once again, congratulations to Anthony McCurry on his win here today at Twinex. And we will see what the end result will be here in the point standings heading into next week's race. Hope you enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become a part of the crew today. And we will see you guys next time here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel Offline Racing as best. Here comes your official finishing results, the rookie points, and the overall points heading into next week.